So in this video, I'm going to do a fairly brief walk around of the 91 Mustang. I want to be sure to point out some of the imperfections in both the paint and the interior. It's pretty minty, it's pretty clean, but it is a driver. It's not perfect. A couple quick notes. Number one, I'm using a pretty inexpensive camera, so I'm not sure what the video quality really is going to be. Number two, it's kind of gray, overcast today, so lighting conditions might not be the best. Number three, the car hasn't been detailed in a few months. It's pretty clean right now, but it's not detailed and ready to take it to, for example, a car show. So the worst aspects of the paint, which is all original, are on the bumper. Not sure how well this is going to show up, but here on the very front bumper you can see some evidence there of a little peeling. And the front, you can see some minor, I think my reflection's probably going to dominate this now that I look at it, but I'll try to point out as best as I can here some little chips here and there. Again, it is a driver. The car is not a museum piece. It's modified to drive, and it should be driven. If you catch the front hood at just the right angle, you can see evidence of what might be some buffer burn. But again, you've got to get it just right, and ultimately, you know, it's not perfect. It's not something I'm concerned with. If you wanted it to be perfect, you would probably respray the front bumper. You may or may not respray the front hood. I wouldn't, but if you wanted it to be perfect, probably do the front bumper there. Headlights are original. Not sure if this is gonna show up all that well, but you can see there it is, the Ford logo, and that's true in the rear and the other headlight here as well. There's the Ford logo, so those are original. They are LEDs, so unlike the stock Fox body headlights, these are actually quite bright. Most people think that I have the brights turned on. So again, car's kind of dirty right now. Just drove it about 25 miles or so last night. Not too terribly dirty, but they're the Terminator Cobra reps from SVE, from LMR. See, obviously 5-lug swap. It's got the Cobra brakes, front and rear. So there are the calipers and the disc. Not sure how well that's going to show up. There are some dings on the mirror. Some of those are bugs. Needs to be wiped off there. But again, not 100% perfect. You're going to see a lot of reflections, I think, in this video, because the paint is pretty shiny. And there are the rear disc Cobra brakes, not the GTs. So again, you can see my reflection even on a cloudy day pretty easily. It's not perfect, but it's original and looks, I think, pretty darn good. You can see some areas where the paint has been touched up. So again, I'm not sure how well that's going to show. That is a watermark. But here we're just right around the license plate. You can see a couple places where it's been touched up. Again, I want to just highlight the flaws. I know where most of them are. Just pop open the gas tank. Again, it's pretty darn clean and minty on the inside. Rear disc brakes, 5-lug conversion. The other side, again, you're going to see some reflections here. It's pretty glossy. The original 5.0 badge. So interior, it could use a vacuum. Again, I just drove it last night. Haven't vacuumed in probably a couple months. So that passenger seat, it's dusty. You know, I keep it in the garage, but usually with the top down. So it could stand to be wiped off. But that's pretty perfect. Same for the rear. Hardly been sat in, it looks like. Walk around to the passenger, or the driver's side rather. Pretty nice shape here. You can see on the bolster, I'm not sure how well that'll show up. It's not a tear, it's not a rip, but sort of kind of a scratch in the leather. Of course, when you drive it, you're gonna have that covered. Nobody will know. Center cup holders. Bluetooth Pioneer stereo. All new speakers. One of my favorite upgrades here. It's a 91, so it came with an airbag wheel. This is the Celine setup. I think they started that, and the Celine's in 84. So it's tilt column swap from 87 to 89. Cruise buttons, which do work from 87 to 89. Momo Monte Carlo wheel, same as in the Celine's, leather wrapped. Ford horn logo. Love the wheel. So much nicer than the giant airbag wheel. Do have the airbag wheel and column if you wanted to swap it back to your original. There's the AFR. Some of the photos posted were before the supercharger, so it does have the AFR gauge, functions correctly. There is, if I can get in there, the odometer showing 44,677. Might change, I might actually drive it later today. Everything works aside from the AC. It does blow, it doesn't blow cold. It's been converted to R134. Most likely needs a charge, but never cared. I only drive it with the top down on nice days. Windows work, but the passenger side window button does not work, so you have to control that here with the driver's side button. The window works fine, but you can't control it from the passenger side. Never cared to investigate that either. So other interior flaws, aside from the scratch, I guess you would call that, on the driver's seat. Some of the buttons show maybe a little bit of wear. Yeah, there's, I guess, a scratch in the plastic in there. There's some wear right there. Kick plates, you know, I guess it's been kicked. It's got a little wear. Could use a wipe down. No cracks or anything like that. Again, it's 44,000 actual miles. It's not rolled. So that's, I think, a fair and honest walk around. I'm not saying it's perfect. It is a driver. It is meant to be driven. It is modified to drive. Let's see, the taillights, love the cheese graters. Not everybody's a fan, but personally I love the cheese graters. You can see the original Ford logo on that as well. There it is. So this is all original. Same on the other side. Won't bore you with that. Let's open up the doors. Again, it needs to be wiped down. You can see some smudges. Matte pocket deletes, those always sag. Not a fan of those. No rust anywhere. We get the door jambs over here. There are the tags. Rockers are all solid. Same on the other side. I'm gonna try to get underneath the car here, and I don't know if this is gonna show up, but I'll try. You can see the Maximum Motorsports subframe connectors there. The exhaust, not even any surface stress on this. Garage kept his whole life in Washington State. Pinch welds. Let's try to take a look at the back from underneath as well. So you can see the panhard bar, the conies up there. It's got the entire Maximum Motorsports road and track suspension. The gas tank's pretty darn clean. And as I say, I mean, I've not tried to detail the underneath of it or anything. It's driven, including 20, 25 miles, whatever, yesterday. the neighbor's car there. So there's the other door card. Sticker over here. Bottoms of the door. No rust. Rock solid. Probably not going to show that well. I'll give it a go. Tires are practically new. Everything's practically new. What am I saying? Comes with all excuse me, all receipts that you see posted in the ad. I'm not a mechanic. I don't wrench, but I take it to a respected shop and a clean bill of health. I'll try to do a separate video where we do a cold start, maybe pop the hood for you and listen to it run. Again, if you catch it just right, you can see some evidence of, I think, buffer burn, maybe. A professional shop might clean that up, but I mean that's pretty nitpicky, I'd say. Oh, there's a chip. Let me see right there in the windshield. It was there when I bought it about 3.5 years ago. It is not spread. It's remained just like that. So I don't think there's any concern. But another minor flaw, evidence of driving. So if I missed anything, if there's anything else aside from a start video that you'd like to see, let me know.